Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Video Game Details. This series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of your friends. In today's episode, we're the victim of a really persistent prank caller in Call of Duty Warzone, we interrupt some alone time in Deathloop, and we take a little time to reflect in Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear To The Rescue. As always, if you think you know of a hidden video game detail that I'm yet to cover, then the best places to let me know are in the comments section or on my social media accounts, the links to which are in the description. Oh, and leaving a like on any of my videos is really appreciated. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So to begin with, let's once again briefly revisit Far Cry 6. Now, in the last episode of this series, we discovered that when driving at high speeds, Boom Boom would stick his head out of the window to enjoy the breeze. Well, unfortunately, today's detail from Far Cry 6 is on the complete opposite end of the animal-friendly spectrum. If one of your amigos happens to find themselves on fire, then this will happen.
Let's roll!
So not only will your furry friend stop, drop and roll, but if you're near water, they will jump in to cool off. It's a really nice touch. Now, when it comes to games that are home to hidden video game details, I'm guessing that the You Don't Know Jack games aren't the first games to come to mind. For those that don't know, You Don't Know Jack is a series of games developed by Jackbox Games that are styled as an interactive game show. At the time of recording, there have been over 24 games or compilations released, with most of them being found on Mac or PC. Now, as you may expect from a trivia-based game, You Don't Know Jack is definitely best experienced with friends. But even if you're playing alone, you can still have some fun with the announcer. Before a game can begin, you'll have to enter your name. Well, if you choose to call yourself this, then the announcer will acknowledge your rude behaviour.
Player one, you think you're real funny, don't you? F me? F you. I'm taking away $1,000. Player one, okay, telling me to f myself once is one thing, but twice? Hey, guess what? Minus 50,000. No, you know what? Not enough. Minus 50,001. That's how you're starting. Minus 50,001. Player one, okay, look, I'm not just gonna be repeatedly told to f myself. So, tell you what I'm gonna do. You're getting a goat. Yeah, that's it. Game over. Here's a goat. Enjoy.
So after repeatedly telling the announcer to make love to himself, he will present you with a goat before kicking you back to the main menu. I mean, given the fact that we're now the proud owners of a goat, I see this as a win. Oh, and if you name yourself Cookie, that's the name of the announcer, he will say this.
Cookie! I see what you did there. I'll take it as a compliment. Also, I'll be sending you a bill later for violating my trademarked name rights. But for now, I'll take it as a compliment.
Continuing with the theme of rude details now, this time in the really very good Deathloop. Now, I mentioned in my last video that the world of Deathloop is just begging to be explored with secrets, stories and cool locations waiting to be found by those who are willing to look. Well, one area that you may want to stay clear of, or not depending on your own tastes, can be found in Updam. Outside of this building, you can hear this.
That was decent.
Now YouTube, if you're watching, the people in this building are just playing a really, really intense game of Scrabble. There's no naughty business going on, I swear. I mean, you can even hear the reactions of the person who is losing. Just listen to how bored she sounds.
Yes. Oh. Yes, that's... yeah, more. Yeah.
Ow,
Okay,
Chris.
good.
Okay, that's enough.
So recently I've been trying to include some quote-unquote retro games in this series, with the last episode featuring an excellent detail from Spider-Man on the PS1. Seriously, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Well, the first of today's retro games is the brilliant Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear To The Rescue. As the name suggests, you play as Mr. Lightyear during the events of the Toy Story 2 movie. This game has a special place in my heart, as I remember having a demo disc with this game on it and would spend hours just exploring the bedroom. However, my detail-finding brain hadn't quite developed, so I didn't even notice this next detail. When aiming in first-person mode, you can see this. So you can actually see Buzz's reflection in his visor. Just a reminder, this game came out nearly 22 years ago. The other retro detail can be found in Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter. As you probably guessed, MS vs SF pits characters from the Marvel universe against characters from the Street Fighter universe. Now, do you remember a few months back where we discovered that certain characters appear in the background of stages in Mortal Kombat 11, but if you select them as fighters, they obviously won't be there anymore? Well, this next detail is very similar to that. The TV set stage sees you doing battle on, well, a TV set. Now, as you can see, the ongoing fight between superheroes and video game characters has caused quite the panic, with people piling towards the exits. Now, what's really cool is that if you don't have Spider-Man selected as a fighter, then this person can be seen in the background with a camera around his neck. Now, whilst we can't be 100% certain, I'm willing to bet my lucky Spider-Man underwear that this is Peter Parker, who, like all good reporters, is at the scene ready to take some quality action shots. Up next is another example of the Halo grunts being some of the best and most importantly funniest enemies in video games. During the Alliance mission, you can find a grunt telling stories to an elite. Let's listen in.
So last night, instead of sleeping, me and the other Ungoy was up talking about battles. And my buddy Gripple was saying all about how he shot at a Spartan human once. No kidding, I mean, I'm serious. And it was an amazing story. It was the kind of story that makes you proud to do a war, even though we don't do wars with humans no more because the Arbiter said not to, right? It was so amazing. We forgot we'd been told to be asleep. I'm serious, like 8 times already. But everybody was yelling, so I started yelling too, and you know how it feels to yell real loud about something? I mean, real loud. It feels great. You know, you don't talk much. Are you just doing the Sangheili brain thing? Keep breathing. Very honorable to be breathing and tall and making yells at everybody. Are you thinking that? Or are you just being quiet?
This wiring is a mess.
So, here is a big question. Do humans make eggs? True or the other one? I know you give up, so I'll tell you. I don't remember, actually, but it was a question we had to know. Another one was, what kinds of things humans breathe? Not waters. You put them in waters and forget about it. They get real quiet after breathing waters.
As I said, the grunts have to go down as some of the funniest enemies/allies in video games ever. So to end today's video, let's take a look at one of my favourite video game trends. I love seasonal events in video games. Whether it's for Christmas, Easter, Halloween or National Whipped Cream Day, I love it when games make an effort to celebrate. Oh, and yes, National Whipped Cream Day is really a thing. Now, just like last year, Call of Duty Warzone has introduced another Halloween event. This time it's themed on ghosts and Ghostface from the Scream movies. True to form, Ghostface will spend a lot of his time calling the phones scattered around Verdansk, though he does seem to be sending mixed messages.
How about you stop around with phones and play the game?
Now, what's really cool is that Ghostface will sometimes recognise the person he is speaking to. Don't worry, I don't mean personally, I mean the operator that you've chosen. For example, here he is speaking to D-Day.
D-Day. The D stands for death. Yours, I'm afraid.
And here is his call to Grinch.
What's it gonna be, Grinch? Tick-tock, tick-tock.
He also recognises Milsim.
Well, Milsim, if that's even your name, it's time to prove you're no red shirt.
And for my personal favourite, if you're wearing the Ghostface skin, he will say this.
Who will we find under that mask, I wonder? I'll peel off your stupid imposter face just as easily.
Now, from my experience, Ghostface only seems to interact with Modern Warfare skins, not Cold War skins. I could be wrong, but I tried repeatedly with my Captain Price Cold War skin and didn't hear any special dialogue. Oh, and even if you have the right skin selected, the voice lines are actually really rare, so if you want to try this for yourself, then patience is required. I must admit that I'm a little disappointed that one of the phone calls wasn't this.
Yo.
What's up?
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Remember, if you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and tiny details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.